You're watching Cox Connections only on Cox 11. For more than 40 years, the Southside Boys and Girls Club has been a staple in our community by offering mentorship programs and extracurricular activities to at-risk youth. They have provided an outlet for children and teens in need of guidance. Here with me today to highlight the works of the Southside Boys and Girls Clubs are Elwood, Coach Williams, and Greg Shivers. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, first, let me just start off by saying thank you for all that you do for our young people. I mean, it clearly is, it's God's work, and you're doing great things with our kids. Coach, let me start with you. You've been doing this now for over 40 years.
Yes.
Why are you doing this?
Well, I think the need is there and the passion is there, and I think that you have to have a very deep passion for kids, and you have to understand the things that they go through, especially kids that's coming from depressed backgrounds, that all of those kids that you work with have a chance to be successful. And you have to guide them in the right direction through the program, the nurture and the love and the guidance to get them to where they need to be. And to teach kids also to invest in themselves. And when society makes a positive investment in kids, those kids grow up to be strong, positive, and productive adults.
Well, that is true. I'm a product of the, it was the boys' clubs, and so what you just said is absolutely true. If it were not for the clubs, there's no way I would be sitting here today in the role that I'm in. What's changed over the years, though? What has changed in terms of the challenges that youth are facing in our community?
Well, I think what has changed is it's been a breakdown in the village. And
The family.
the institutions, and the things that have come into the village, and people who could help. The positive role models have kind of moved out of the village, and they might send their donations back in, and that's good, but they don't come back into support. So the kids on a daily basis outside the club and school, I see a community of a lot of negative role models that outnumber the positive role models within the community.
You mentioned earlier some of the programs. Greg, I don't know what are some of the programs that you're offering at Southside?
We offer a variety of programs that address basically the needs of the communities that we serve. Some of the programs, we have mentoring programs, as we mentioned. We have programs, academic programs that we take a look at. We have the sports program, of course, that's the program of interest for the youth. But then we also try to add programs that address their needs.
Well, you mentioned that, and sometimes people will look at athletic sports and they say, well, that doesn't help. But I mean, there's proof that says that if you get a kid doing well athletically, it transitions into positive results in the classroom as well.
Well, that's true and false. It's based on how you structure your athletic programs. And athletic programs on the level that we deal with, the coaches many times forget to coach the game of life. And the game of life is the A honor roll of life, as I call it. And it's A for positive attitudes, A for association. You have to associate with the right people going in positive directions. You have to appreciate the leadership that you get at home, the school, at the boys' club. And then you have to be able to perform in school academically. And the last
So you're
one,
teaching them a sport, but you're also teaching them how to be successful and how to win in life.
Exactly. Because if you have all those, the good ability, and you fail on the top 4 A's, you're going to lose every time in life. And so the best athletes never play sports because they kill off early because they get good and somebody telling them they're great. And they forget that they have to pay their dues character-wise and academic-wise to get in and take advantage of the scholarships. Now, a great example of what has happened, I can credit sending over 100 kids to college without a dime. But, I played in the CIAA, and during that time that I played, they didn't have a cutoff score for the SAT. And Norfolk had great athletes, and a lot of them weren't going to school. So when I came to Norfolk, I started to send them to schools like Delaware State, where most of them went. My brother was the director of admissions at Delaware State for over 30 years. And we grew up on the Elizabeth City's campus. And so we knew the importance of getting involved early with positive role models. So we passed on this lesson that we learned at Elizabeth City and Elizabeth City State to the kids in Delaware and to the kids in Norfolk.
To get these kids to go off and matriculate and go to schools.
Right.
What are the ages of the kids that we have in the programs?
Yeah, we serve kids between the ages of 5 to 16.
Okay. And is there a cost for the kids to go?
Yes, based on our locations, we have several different costs for them to attend the program. For instance, in the Dickstown, which is located in public housing, we offer a program for $15 for the whole entire summer.
Wow,
That's
that's
for
a
10 weeks.
great deal.
Yes, and you know, and the price is low because of the fact that we're so close to public housing. We want them to be able to have the Boys and Girls Club experience.
So the hours during the school year, they are different than the hours during the summer? Are there camps or something during the summer? Talk a little bit about the hours of operation for the clubs.
Well, the hours of operation for the club during the summer program is from 6:30 in the morning to 6 p.m. in the afternoon. And we provide lunch, breakfast, and a snack for the individuals.
And is this part of the summer camp program, or?
Yeah, that's part of the summer camp program. But I think one of the major parts of the summer program has kind of been wiped out due to the economy. And we used to take kids like to Baltimore, to Smithsonian Institute. Now you can't afford to do it.
Well, that's a great segue, because if I'm listening to this, anyone listening to this, and they want to help out, because you're doing great things with these young folks. You get them to go to college, you're exposing them to different things. If someone is listening and say, boy, I want to get involved, what can they do? Can they, I mean, clearly money, is there volunteering opportunities?
Well, let's say we could get a bus company to donate a trip. Like we're trying to go to the African American Museum in Baltimore. That trip costs almost $2,000, and we can't afford to go because they can't afford to pay the price. So if someone was listening and said, well, I'll sponsor this trip to the African American Museum in Baltimore, and what we would do, we would piggyback, we would take half of Dickstown kids and half of Southside kids to fill the bus.
All right.
You know.
And so I know we only have maybe a couple of seconds left, but if someone wants to contact the clubs and want to write a check or do whatever, I guess there's a website. I think we can show that up. Should they contact the website? Should they call you? Do both?
They can do both.
Do both. And I think we can show that on the screen to put that up. I think we're having it showing now. But they can contact the website. Clearly what you're doing, you're making a difference in the lives of these kids. And as I mentioned earlier, I have a bias about this because I know that the clubs work. I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood where most of the people hadn't gone to college. And if it were not for that club, there's no way I would be in the position that I'm in today. The people like you who were investing in us, 40 years ago, have made a tremendous difference in my life. And really, to be honest, they saved my life. And that's what you're doing. And so again, on behalf of all of the kids, the big ones and the little ones, I just want to thank you, Coach, for what you've been doing for a lifetime, helping out these children. And Greg, what you're doing as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me on the show. Still to come on Cox Connections, we'll give you a taste of some of the technology to help you make the most of your experience with Cox. Don't go away.